Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. So this look is a New Year's Silver Sparkle Holiday 2020 look, and I love this. I did use the Jeffree Star Cremated Palette along with my MAC palette Pretty Punk, and I love how this look turned out. I think it's very, very sparkly, very glam, and it would go perfect with like some kind of silver or black dress or blouse or something like that. So if you want to see how I got this look, go ahead and keep on watching. I'm so excited to start this makeup look. So this is my first New Year's look that I had in mind. I'm going to start by prepping my skin with my Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I swear to goodness, this stuff just puts me in a wonderful frame of mind. I love it so, so much. Okay, so to refresh my skin and make it a little bit more moisturized, I'm going to use my Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Hangover RX. Wow, Replenishing Face Primer. Serious issues today. So I was testing out some makeup, so I'm going to try to be careful not to get that finger on my skin. And we're going in with a foundation I haven't used in a long time. So I'm using my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. This is the shade 290. It is the second one that I got. The first one was 190, so that one is now garbage because I bought it over 2 years ago. So I'm going to shake this because it hasn't been used in forever. And I'm going to see if it's still okay to use because, again, hasn't been used in a long time. So I just had to squish out some and throw it away because it was kind of gross. So they say you're supposed to work from the center of your face and work outward. This is a little dark for my skin right now. This one also dries down really, really quickly. So I did wet my makeup sponge a little bit extra just because I know that that foundation becomes really dry really quickly. So even though this foundation is dark for my skin tone right now, I really do like how it applies. So we might lighten things up with my concealer. So I put on a very, very thin layer just because it is so dark and I don't want it to be dark. I'm going to go ahead with my concealer. I'm using my Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced in light beige. And I was going to use this for my eye primer, but we'll see if this is too dark because I want to lighten everything up. So I might use this one as well. This is my Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whipped Concealer in 2.4 Medium Olive. So I might put this one under my eyes. This one isn't much darker or much lighter than the foundation that I used. And I think I'm almost running out of this product as well. Okay, and then I'm going to put some around my nose, and then for all of the highlighting areas, because I will contour today, I'll use the Beauty Blender formula. Okay, so I'm going to use the pointy tip of my sponge to blend it all out. And then once I've kind of blended out the product, I'm using the other side to blend it into the foundation so it doesn't look so cakey. And sorry for the background noise, but my furnace is super, super loud and it is so cold out today. It's got to be like minus 25, maybe minus 28 with the wind chill. So super breezy, super cold. And our house loses air so, so much because it's not insulated properly. It's a really old house. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and set everything. I'm using Jeffree Star's Magic Star Luminous powder in the shade Natural. I love this powder and I want my face to be a little bit glowy. But but I don't want to over powder. So I'm going to use my F35 tapered highlighter brush. This is meant to be a highlighter brush, but it's perfect for underneath the eye area, so this is why I use it. This powder is so nice to wear at the during the holidays because it's got that little bit of glow. I love it so much. And then I always switch to my F37 Spotlight Duster. It's a larger brush, kind of the same shape, and I've been loving this for powder because it just goes on so nice and gentle and a nice, very thin layer. And so the next step will be eyebrows, just so I can balance out my face and see what my face needs next. I won't do that on camera, so we're going to skip right to the next part. Okay. So next part is going to my contour palette. This is my Kat Von D face or Shade and Light face palette. I'm going to take my F40 large angled contour brush. I'm going to go into the lightest shade because I'm not looking for darkness here. I'm just looking for a little bit of shadow in the areas that would naturally be shadowed. So cheekbones here, I do it right above the lighter part that I added with the concealer to make your cheekbones appear higher. And I bring it up to the temples. And around the hairline. And then a little bit on the nose. Under the lip. And sometimes I do underneath the jaw, but today I'm just going to leave it because this foundation is already darker than I am kind of looking for. So that's it there. And I will just take my powder brush and kind of blend along this line because I don't want it to be a sharp line here. And then the next step is putting on some blush. So I've got my Dallas blush by Benefit. I love the smell of this. I'm using my F10 Sigma powder blush brush and applying to the apples of my cheeks. Just a very light amount, nothing crazy. And then for shadow. So today's look, because it's a New Year glam look, I wanted to use silver and silver sparkle. So everything pretty much, not so much a smoky eye, but it's going to probably turn smoky because I'm going to feature the Jeffree Star Cremated Palette. So I'm just going to focus on a couple of shades here because I think this is a nice kind of gray color as a base to start out. And then I like this kind of white sparkly color, so we might use that on the middle of the lid. And then also Paul Bear is very, very sparkly, and it's darker though, so I have to be careful with that. And then, because I don't really have any shadow palettes that have like that really nice sparkle that it will actually stick, a couple of palettes that I also have, I haven't used this in forever. This is my MAC Pretty Punk, but it does have this silver right here, and it's pretty nice of a silver. So that one will be really pretty, kind of as a topper, I think. And also I have my Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow. So this is silver, the shade is Diamond Dust, and I like putting these on the lower lash line right at the corner here, and because they're liquid they stick amazing and you don't have to use a base. I would recommend it anyway because your shadow will last longer, but that's just kind of a tip. So I'm going to quickly highlight my skin first using my Mary Lou by the Balm. I'm going in with my F03 High Cheekbone Highlighter here from Sigma. I always just kind of go to this highlighter, even though this kind of has a champagne glow to it, so it might not go as well with the eye look, but I kind of stay away from really kind of cool toned highlighters because it doesn't look as good on my skin. And before we apply eyeshadow, I'm going to spray my face with my Morphe Setting Mist here. It's almost gone. It's another product. It's almost used up. think that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to let that dry so you can see how my face is very glowy, which is kind of the look I want. So I'm going to take an E25. Yes, an E25. And I'm going to start with a darker gray. I think I'm going to use Wednesday. I usually don't start this dark, but I'm going to use it very sparingly. Very much, like very little on my brush here. And I'm going to start in the crease. Ooh, that is dark. But we can blend it out with a lighter color, so we are okay. So I don't want this to get too dark or too smoky. I want it to be a silver look, but you do want some dimension of a tone that is either a contrasting tone with the shadow that you put on your lid or something that will kind of define like the eye. That is so pretty. Okay, so then next I want to stay away from the warmer gray brown tones in here. And I'm going to go in Embalmed. It's a lighter gray, but it has lots of sparkle in it. And you can't really see the sparkle, which is nice. It's definitely a cooler tone here. I'm going to pop this all over the lid. I think if you are using silver sparkles for your look, I think that a cooler toned gray underneath will be much better because it's really going to make those sparkles pop. But I will go in with a slighter darker color in the crease because it just seemed to wash out that darker color. So I'm going to go back in to the shade Rip now, which is right here. Same brush and just apply to the crease, just to get that definition in the eye area. Otherwise, it kind of looks like you've got a monochromatic eye look. So then I'm going to see what Goodbye looks like now. I'm actually going to take this eye shading brush E55 and I'm going to apply it dry first of all. So I'm going to go into Goodbye and put that on the lid so that is quite a bit brighter and sparklier. And before I go any further, I'm going to take an E30 now. I'm going to go into Rip, which is again that darker color, and smudge this along the lower lashes. And I'm not going to go all the way to the center. And I'm just going to wipe away any fallout that I have accumulated here. Okay, so I was going to line my lash line, but I think I might leave it. I'm not sure yet, but I do have a black liner for the water rim and then the liquid for the top, but I'm just going to see what it looks like after I apply the shadow and go from there. So then I'm going to take the E55 shader again and go into Pallbearer, so that's like this really sparkly shade, and start on the outside because it is darker. It's got lots of sparkle in it. But I want a little bit more, so that's just kind of giving me some little bit of sparkle there. So I'm going to go into my MAC palette now and use my finger. So it's this sparkly silver shade right here. Let's see if I put this on the lid. Oh yes, beautiful. It definitely has that wet glow. That is what I want. That is so pretty. Okay, so now just for contrast, I'm going to go back to the lower lash line. I'm going to go back to my Jeffree Star palette. I'm going to take that same sparkle shade, Paul Bear, and let's see. I'm actually going to use an E27 because it's going to be much smaller, but it won't be as small as an E30. So we're going to go here. And I'm going to smudge this along the lower lash line. And then, just to make it a little bit less dark, I want to see what it looks like using Goodbye, just to kind of blend it out a tad. And then I'm going to, one last time, I'm going to take my flat definer, the E15, and just go in with like a darker color. So this is Black or Angel of Death, which is still sparkly. And just go really close to my lashes and really define them. Okay, so I think that's it for the shadow. So again, I'm going to wipe off the fallout. Whoops. Wipe away the fallout. And I think I'm going to not do a line on the top of my lashes, but I am going to line the water rim. And now we're going to pile on the mascara. And while I'm doing that, I won't be doing lips today because I have to go out and I have to wear a mask. So it makes sense not to put lip stuff on. But I will use my, I think they're Melrose lashes by Morphe. I've been using these because I just had them out. I'm going to put glue on them, and then I'm going to go ahead and pile on mascara, and I will come back with the completed look. Okay, guys, so the lashes are kind of on. I'm having some issues with this one right here. It's just not sticking, but I will fix it after. So before we go any further, I'm going to add a little bit of my highlighter with my L04 detailed lip brush to the inner corner. I like this because it's a warmer shade. It's not like bright silver, and it matches the rest of my highlight. It's usually why I add highlighter instead of from the eyeshadow palettes, because it just matches the rest of your face. But we'll also add a tiny bit to the brow bone. And like I said we were going to, before the completed look is complete, I'm going to add a little bit of the Stila liquid shadow. So this I like to add, I'm probably going to use the same brush because it's tiny. I'll take some of those sparkles, and it feel like it's dried up a bit, and just add them right underneath the lower lashes here. And I would recommend, like mine are all dried up, so I'm not really sure, they won't stay on that long, but I would recommend using some kind of like primer or like a lash glue right here. Oh, now I've got sparkles all over my lashes. So I'm just going to wipe those off. I literally have sparkles all over my face. Okay, and then that is the completed look, but this is driving me nuts, so I'm going to just put a dab of glue where that lash needs to go. So it'll stick in place and just not move around because it's driving me nuts. All right, but that is the completed look. So I would probably add like a nice sparkly gloss or something. You could also do a red lip. That's it for this makeup look. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it just goes so nice with any kind of New Year theme that you want to do. I know we're not having parties, so I guess this is kind of moot anyway. But if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I'd love if you'd subscribe and click that bell notification so you'll be notified the next time I upload. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.